Lick Friday, week 4, Lick Friday. Are they Lick Fridays anymore? I'm not entirely sure. So, how about weekly lick 450? There you go. I know I'm not using an SG, but I thought I'd use this anyway because it's sort of SG, just a little bit more rounded on the edges. Not really. Anyway, this week's lick is Angus Young licks taken from Back in Black. So all these licks are actually from that solo. I may have twisted a couple of them slightly, but anyway, whatever. These are one of those things. So Angus Young, his playing is pretty much just an explosive blues rock form of using the pentatonic. So you're not going to get bored of the pentatonics playing Angus stuff, because let's face it, he is an awesome player. Explosive kind of vibrato, just the attack on the strings. Some of the speed of the pentatonic runs that he plays are actually quite tricky as well. And then just an amazing player, really nice, flavoursome, explosive, which I've already said, emotive and reactive playing. There you go, there's some words to think about to kind of place into his style of playing. But for those that do like Angus, you're going to enjoy this one, and for those that don't, you might actually pick stuff up here which you'll use in your own playing and learn to appreciate Angus Young. Enough said on that. Please do subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already, and visit all the socials. Right, there we go. So once again, thank you to Charlie and Johns for my strings, because obviously without strings I ain't playing guitar. It'll be a little bit wooden, right? So there's a logo, should pop up on screen. Oh hello, that was weird timing, wasn't it? You can find a link to their website down below as well, where you can purchase all these handmade strings made by Charlie and Johns in the USA. Nice one. So please do subscribe to the channel, hit that bell button for all the future notifications, and visit me on the socials. Drop a comment, thumbs up, all that sort of stuff. And please do visit the website for the tab, which is all free, no need to buy anything from the website. And what else is there? Patreon page. If you want a jam track, you can't for this one because it's actually not really my song, is it? But you will find jamming tracks on my Patreon page that may actually suit. There is an Angus style one, ACDC style one on there. Shh, don't tell anyone. Yeah, there we are. That's about it really. Loads of free stuff. Some of it is not. And just see where you end up. Have a good weekend, everyone. See you later. Bye. Number 1. This one starts with your 7th fret bend on that full tone on the G string, so that's your 3rd string. So you can come in on the 8th note of the and of 1, or you can come in on that 2nd 16th notes. It's up to you, but just basically I've written it out with the 2nd 16th note. Anyway, so we've got the 7th fret full tone bend. Add vibrato if you want to, you don't need to, and then you have another bend on that same fret to the 8th fret on the 2nd string, another bend on the 7th fret, and then an open A string sliding into the 9th fret from anywhere you like around that 7th or 8th fret up into that 9th fret on the 3rd string with vibrato. Okay, then the next section, which is basically bar 2 of this lick, you have the 9, 8, so that's 9 on the 3rd, 8 on that 2nd, and then a very swift hammer-on pull-off going through from fret 10 to fret 11, so that's hammering on to fret 11, pulling off back to fret 10, and then pulling off back to fret 8. So that might be tricky for some, so just practice with different fingers. I don't know how Angus would play this, but I would think he might use his little finger. Could be wrong. Anyway, so 10, 11, 10, 8, back to the 10, and then it's going to be the 8th fret blues curl. So you get that going on, and then on the 3rd string, finishing the lick with 9, 7, 9. And then vibrato. So lovely little lick. I love bar 2 on that, so I'm not such a fan of bar 1, but there you go. So if I play it slow for you, it should sound something like this. So 2, 3, 4, and again with the open. There we go, got it right that time. Lick number 2 coming up now. Lick 2, this one is a little bit more explosive. So you've got the standard kind of 14th fret bend, 12/12 second string, first string, so which is your sort of bringing in your Chuck Berry-isms, standard rock and roll stuff in lick shape number 1 of your pentatonics in E minor, that is. So 14th fret full tone bend on that third string, followed by 12 on the second, 12 on the first. Then a sequence of bends on the 15th fret second string. So now this one you're kind of bending up, and on the tab obviously it looks like you're playing, which you can do it like that, but listening to it, you kind of dip in and out slightly on variance throughout the picking sequence of those 4 notes. On the last one, add a bit of vibrato as well. So now I definitely would say on the first 2 bends, you kind of dip back down and push back up for that second bend, and then the last 2, so you keep it fairly static. But you know, that's just little flavours that you can add in and muck about with, just to give you that Angus sort of sound. Then the next sort of 6 notes. This is tricky. So coming down in groups of 3, you would have basically that. Now I look at it as the first 4 notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's my last section. So basically 7 notes for this little lick. It's not easy to do, so I'll just vary your way of trying to practice it and bring in hybrid picking, as I prefer to use, to get the speed and fluency with it. But as I say, it's not easy. So coming down this lick, you start with a 12th fret on that first string, 12 on the second, should I say. You can pull that one off if you want to, and then you've got 14 on your third. Then it's going to be 12 on the second, 12 on the third, and then the 14 with vibrato to finish with on that third string. So 14th fret, full tone bend, and then vibrato. Just practice along, see how you end up with that, but I'll try and play it slow for you now, and it should go something like this. 3, 4. So just watch that 6 tuplet bit at the end, because that will throw you out if you're not used to them. There you go. Lick number 3 coming up. This one is fairly straightforward. One that we find obviously from the old rock and roll stages of the Chuck Berry styles, double stops and things like that. So it's a lovely one just to throw in when you need something else to put into your playing which isn't a single note run. So there you go. Anyway, we start with a 14 on the D string. Roll that finger across to the 14 on the G and the 14 on the B at the same time, so a double stop. Okay. Back to the 14 on your D string, and then to the 12 on the third string with a hammer onto the 14 and then bend that one. Going to the 15 whilst you're holding the bend, that is, on the second string, and then back down to the static position of 14, bend it up, let it down, and then pull off to the 12. Come into the 14, 14 on the 3rd and 4th strings, and then one single 14 to finish that that lick off, which is the E, so the root note, just to bring that to an end with vibrato. So I'll play it slow for you now. So it goes. There you go, lick number 4, and the final one coming up in a mo. Here you go, last one. So starting with an open string on this, 2nd string, so a B note, going to the same note on the 3rd string, so, and then a 3-5 on the 2nd string, so with vibrato. Very important to get the Angus vibrato right, because if you don't, it's not going to sound like Angus, although you may want to sound a little bit like yourself with Angus licks, but that's besides the point. So that's the first 2 beats. Then the next 2 beats we've got, which is that. So that's the 3, slide down to the 2, and as you're doing that, obviously the open E string is ringing at the same time. So back to the 3, and then the 3-0 with vibrato. So it's a little bit discordant, but I think that's kind of the aim of this one. Then we have the next bar, so this is it's 2 pull off to the 0. So you should end up with that sort of sound. So you're pulling off 2 on the 2nd string to 0 and playing the open E string as well. So further 2 strikes of that with vibrato. And then to finish off this lick, it's my favourite bit, you have, and it's the all-important vibrato on the bend, the top of that bend. So you've got 14th fret, basically bending that up, and then it's going to be 12-12, 2nd string, 1st string, 15th fret, 3rd string, full tone bend, and then strike it again with vibrato. Like that. I'm going to play it slow. Here it goes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and. I'm going to hand you back to me just to send you off for the weekend. There you go. See you in a bit. Thanks once again to Charlie and Johns for the strings they provide for my guitars, not just lessons, but my guitars. It all helps, and also for this I was using the Brian Wampler Plexi drive as well, just to put that in there because it's an awesome pedal, along with the Tonex. I've got it going in front of the Tonex as well. There we are. So the tab is on my website. It'll also be up on the top of the screen if you want that as well, but if you want the PDF, it's free on the website. You don't need to worry about buying anything from there. If you want the backing tracks for this, you can't because I haven't done them, but I've got more on my Patreon page, which is patreon.com/dancepage, all linked below. There's some free stuff on there, and there are tier systems which you have to pay for as well. Just visit it, go along, have a look, become a free member. There you go, and then you'll maybe jump on something later on. Whatever happens, you can have a little browse. How about that? Right, shall we jump in with the licks? I think we should. Let's go for it.